Today, I've got a how-to video for you, and it is how to get yourself the new Chatterbox badge in Scribal. Hi, I am Eliziam, and welcome to my channel, and welcome also to Andrew. Hi, Andrew, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Cool. So we're going to tell everyone about the new Chatterbox badge. And what is it, first of all?
Okay, so the Chatterbox badge, there will be 3 levels, and depending on the level you reach will be the amount of TSOP points that you score. I'm sure for regular to the channel, I don't need to explain what TSOP is, but I'm also sure that Eliziam will provide a link to those who don't know. And the Chatterbox badge itself is basically to encourage comments. So those who are leaving comments in the caves, our social platform within Scribal, they will now be able to earn a badge for doing so.
So this came off a discussion that I was having with one of our members, Mr. John Hinton. Will the real John Hinton please stand up? And he was talking about the things that he liked and the things that he wanted to see more of. And one of the things he wanted to see more of, and so do we, is this idea of people discussing the poems that people are putting up there. So, I mean, it's all well and good if people read a poem and then leave a reaction, like a smiley face or whatever, but it's not really the feedback that the platform has the capacity to give. And when you're a writer, you do want that kind of feedback. I mean, it depends what kind of feedback people are looking for, but hopefully we've got past the stage of, that's nice. So the kind of feedback that is constructive and helpful and gives a new perspective, even if sometimes that is a little bit painful to hear. When you're a writer, you're bearing your soul. And if someone says, I'm not sure you should have done it just like that, maybe you could try doing it like this. Sometimes that's a bit painful, but it's someone's perspective, and that makes it valuable and valid, and either it can be incorporated or it doesn't have to be, but it can bring about new changes and vibrancy into a piece of existing work. Would you say that's why we're doing it?
I would say that's partly it, yes, for sure. I also now have Eminem in my head. Thank you for that.
Did I explain where that's come from? Because it was a bit random, wasn't it? It's because we were doing tweets to Scribal members, and I was wittering away and incorporating a very random person into the mix because I got my people mixed up and I was messaging the wrong John Hinton. And like when I realized what I'd done, I felt very embarrassed, and I messaged both of them and said, I'm so sorry, gentlemen, I've got you mixed up, and much hilarity ensued. But they were both very lovely about it, thankfully. So that's why I said, will the real John Hinton please stand up? Which is a kind of thing that only like a couple of people on this earth will get. So it's not very funny, so sorry.
I think that when we consider that we've got so many wonderful poems and short stories in the caves already, over 1,000, and the comments, a lot of the beauty of a lot of the comments that we've been getting is that they're so encouraging. I think that people within the Scribal community feel safe to share their creativity within Scribal because the family around them are so supportive and so engaged and so encouraging. And it's important that we make it clear we're not saying that people aren't already commenting, because they absolutely are. They're a very encouraging bunch, and we want it to be even more. And you know, I think the other thing is, this is a personal thing, so this is me speaking as a sort of poet. That
there's no sort of about it. We decided last week that you were a poetry tree or a poetry.
Thank you. I think. Speaking as a poet, I personally want to engage people in terms of an emotion, some kind of emotion, some kind of reaction. When I used to tour schools years ago, one of the things that I used to slightly be at odds with the way that schools were teaching. I'm not really up to date with the way schools teach poetry anymore, but certainly when I was at school, one of the things that we had in English literature was we had to talk about what the poet had intended when they wrote the poem, what did they mean by the poem. Personally speaking, as a poet, I don't really care if somebody understands what I meant within the poem. What I want to know is, did it elicit a reaction, and what was it, and why? And that's where comments come in handy too, because comments can be, Andrew, this made me feel this way, and this is a reason why, and that's gold dust to me.
Okay, so you want to know about people's perceptions and interpretation and reactions as well.
Yes, and I think that some people are almost scared to give a comment because they're scared to, it's like, oh, what if that's not what it meant, or that's not what she meant. But in reality, I can only speak for myself, but in reality for me, if you come to me and say, oh, this is what it meant to me, and this is the feeling that it brought to me, and these are the reasons why, it could be a million miles different to what I'd intended, but it would make me feel on top of the world because it made you feel something. I remember I was touring one of the schools that I went to, and they were 17, 18-year-old kids, and this young lady rose from her chair and said, yes, I've read your book, and I said, oh, did you like it? She said, no, it was rubbish. And I said, oh. And I said, no, that's fine, but back it up. Tell me why. Because it was still a reaction. And there was still an opinion. And, not everybody likes blue. It doesn't make blue a bad color. But I still want to know, as a poet, I want to know why did it make you feel the way it made you feel, good or bad.
I get it. Okay, so we're doing 3 levels of the Chatterbox badge. Level 1 is that you have given one reaction, and we're starting this as of today. Okay, so level 1, you've made a reaction, and then level 2 is that you have commented under 50 times, but for level 3 you have done over 50 comments. Wow. Okay, now lots of our other badges are linked with quests, aren't they? This one not so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is more kind of in line with some of the quests that we do with the lower levels of the poetry. So with haiku 1, 2, 3, and 4, poetry 1, 2, 3, and 4, where a large part of that is the number of posts that you make in the cave. So it's kind of similar to that.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's just enough time for me to thank you for liking, subscribing, and putting that alert notification on. Don't forget, if you like this channel, don't tell me, tell your friends. I'll see you next time.